Fortunately, our team parlay is not safe. It is not safe. The rules are that it must be plus 200, but this week we're going something a little crazier here with our team parlay. Last week, Chris had Brighton minus 1.5 on his team parlay. I had Brighton over 3.5 corners in the first half. Guess what? Brighton had 3 corners in the first half. I think they had a couple goals in the first half as well. Did not hit, unfortunately, but Chris, you are going with this is one of the games we consider talking about Newcastle against Manchester City, but give us your thoughts here on Newcastle. I think you actually took Newcastle double chance in this spot last season at Manchester City.
I took it was a similar bet. I took them.
Oh, plus
I
one and a
think
half, maybe.
yeah, it was plus 1.5 because the game ended up being 3-3. I was like, that's a lot for them to cover. Newcastle seems kind of good at the time. They turned out they are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bit of a risky bet here. Newcastle double chance at Manchester City. I'm a little weary, but I think you're not usually going to get this kind of value on a double chance bet for a team that finished in the top four facing another team. I don't, like if it was Liverpool visiting Man City, would it be? Would they get plus odds on a double chance bet? I don't think so. Or like somebody else like Chelsea, maybe. But I think you're just getting a lot of value on this double chance bet. Let me just go out and say that City have dominated Newcastle in these previous matchups, but except for the last one where it was 3-3. So I'm kind of basing this off of that. I just think you get plus 110. Kevin De Bruyne out. I don't know. Did I hear 3 to 4 months? That's a huge mess. Aside from Holland, those are probably their two best players. Phil Foden's probably going to get an improved playing time, among others. And so I think that they might just miss a little bit of beef in the midfield against us in this game. And I'm interested to see how Tonali for Newcastle kind of matches up with them. He was huge in game one, scored right away, looked good. Alexander Isak was phenomenal. He's got 2 goals already. That's not to downgrade City at all. I just think that this Newcastle team is quality. We've seen that they yet to get into the beef of the middle of the season when players are playing with knocks, so they're pretty healthy, and I think they can go in there at least get a draw out of it.
Yeah, speaking of Tonali, it seemed like all of the new players that came to the Premier League uh, scored or assisted or something in that opening match. So that was kind of funny. A lot of guys um, like that. But you mentioned KDB here. Looking at this line movement at RotoWire, minus 240 about 2 weeks ago for Manchester City to win. Now it's minus 145. That number is just kind of creeping down there. I think though you mentioned about just in terms of the odds, I almost wonder that in terms of the market here, I wonder if we had all the teams play on a neutral field, I wonder if Newcastle actually is the team in third place in terms of betting behind Manchester City and Arsenal. I wonder actually if Newcastle may be favored on a neutral field against Liverpool. Obviously, I don't think there's any way of knowing that, but just given that opening result against Aston Villa and the pieces they've added kind of a thing and just how they looked last season, it does almost feel like Newcastle might be just creeping into like this top four category here if they can continue to dominate at home, and we'll see how they do at Manchester City here. But Chris, his side was Newcastle double chance against Manchester City. That's plus 110. My bet is pretty simple here. Mohamed Salah 2 assists plus 185. So Salah did not get his goal in the opener. They are home against Bournemouth, though. If you remember back 9-0 against Bournemouth last season, Salah did not have a goal or an assist from those 9 goals, despite going the entire match. He also got ticked off last week when he was subbed early. So maybe he's going to be motivated a little bit. Maybe I should have taken him to score. But Salah to score, I believe, was minus 135. Salah to assist was plus 185. I looked at those odds. I was like, okay, why not just take him to assist? And he got a bunch of assists in preseason. He's continually averaged, more than 10 assists in a season. So let's just go with that. Plus 185, 2 assists. I like the odds there. And if I think that Liverpool are going to get more than 3 goals, why can't Salah assist at least one of those? So combine those. We're at plus 499 for the odds. So Chris, you are the Liverpool guy. First off, do you agree with the minus 135 compared to the plus 185 for the to score and assist odds? And what one
I
do you
mean,
like more?
you're getting way better value on the plus 185. He put in what I would describe as sumptuous ball to Luis Diaz against Chelsea. That was a great pass, and if McAllister and Soboslai can kind of unlock that forward line a little bit more, then I think certainly 9-0. Tough to look past that last year, so hopefully they can go out and do the same thing here. But yeah, I mean, way better value. You're not getting a ton of value on the minus 135 to score, so interesting enough to the plus 85 on the assist. So I'm pro. Hopefully they get a win and a couple goals. But yeah, I'm interesting bet. And this might be our highest odds ever for a parlay. I can't really think back to one where we've gone nearly plus 500 odds. So good parlay. I'm a little worried about my end holding up the bargain. I like yours a bit more, even though the odds are different. But yeah, interesting stuff.
What do you think a scoreline for that Liverpool game is going to be?
Hopefully they get a clean sheet. That'd be big for them. They need a clean sheet. They're kind of lacking, I guess, confidence in the back line. I think 2-3-0 is what I would take.
Just so they can get their chi levels up to good amounts.
Yeah, well, I mean, sounds like they're in for. It's been a tough week for them. They missed out on Lavia. They missed out on Casado. They are apparently bringing in Endo from Stuttgart.
Yes,
defensive midfielder
yes.
for about 30-year-old defensive midfielder for about 19 million pounds. I heard they need somebody. I can say that much. I would. It seems like they're gonna have to. They lost out on every deal that they kind of pursued. So it's kind of a little bit of a tough mood here in the Liverpool camp this week.
Sorry to hear that.
And I'm usually the
condolences to
too,
Liverpool fans.
But yeah, we'll see. It should be a good result. Hopefully they certainly can't walk into Bournemouth and drop points.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other games that we need to watch this week?
Yeah. First off, I'll have my article up. I'm still writing it. My betting article was 3-1 last week, so check that out once it's up. Rotowire.com. As you can see here, I got the cheat sheet pulled up to get access to rotowire.com/soccer trial. It's a free 48-hour trial. This is the FPL cheat sheet. Again, as you can see here, Burnley, Luton Town are not on it, but you got all 9 matches, all 9 lineups, and odds for all of them. As you can see here, implied goal total for Liverpool is 2.5. So the odds are implying 2.5 goals for Liverpool, and we're getting plus 185 for Salah to assist, which is pretty nice, I'd say. Otherwise, we talk about Arsenal. We talk about Manchester City. I mean, nothing really jumps off the page in terms of matchups. We got, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, kind of expected to be a bottom of the table battle. We'll see what Wolverhampton can do in their home opener against Brighton. They got smashed by Brighton last season, but I don't know if it's surprising, but people bashed Wolverhampton for about a full week because they let go of their manager, and then they put up a pretty decent fight against Manchester United. Does anything else stand out to you? I don't know if anything stands out to you. We almost talked about half the matches. We probably did talk about half the matches, so there's not much else here going on.
Yeah, I think we covered most of it. I mean, interested to see if Brighton can keep it going, and then Aston Villa really need a bounce back after getting smoked by Newcastle.
Yeah, Aston Villa, the unfortunate losing multiple players to torn ACLs. They're dropping like flies over there. So unfortunate for them with Europa Conference League coming up as well. So it's a wonder if they may even sign some more people here just to put out some lineups in Conference League, because they're getting. I mean, we talked about their depth at the beginning of the season, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, is Yuri Tielemans going to start in an attacking role if Leon Bailey isn't ready to start this weekend, kind of a thing, without Buendia in there? We see all the questions. I guess Jacob Ramsey's not healthy, so I guess that's one thing. So maybe he'll be coming back soon. But Luka Digne has been in talks of joining some Saudi Arabian team as well. So there's just random stuff like that. It's been a tough start for Villa. One of the teams that I was talking about for top 6, but that bet does not look very good right now. So,
Yeah.
got
Looking tough
anything
for
else,
Villa.
Chris? Yeah.
I don't. This is it.
Holland minus 165 to score home against Newcastle. Salah minus 135 to score home against Bournemouth. Those are the goal odds for the week there. You can find Chris at CHROwen8 on Twitter. I am at Roto Zdroik. You can follow RotoWire Soccer at RotoWire Soccer. Thanks for watching all of these shows. We got a bunch up. You can find these in our podcast feed. Make sure to subscribe to that. If you want our full shows, you can subscribe to our podcast, our regular show with all of our bets. We're going to post our YouTube ones separately for the time being. So those will be up as the games get closer. Chris, thanks for joining me. See everyone next week for Game Week 3.